Hello, welcome to Connect Africa. I am Mahlet Ayele, your host. Now, we have a couple of updates from the Alliance of the Sahel States. The first one is that the government of Burkina Faso has actually launched not a new one, but it's using the existing one, the education for civic and civic and the the civic and patriotic education for students. Now, this is something that they have launched in back, I think, March or April 2025. Now, this time they are giving it for junior students. Here is a piece of the video. This man talking about.
You witnessed the patriotic conversion, which concerned students who passed. Thank you. That patriotic immersion was insulted in the government. And following that, you witnessed the patriotic immersion, which concerned students who passed the baccalaureate this year. We deemed it necessary to take into account the intermediate classes. That is to say, the 6th to 6th, 4th, 2nd, and 1st grades. And this training will be provided by our brave defense and security forces, assisted by our teaching and education collaborators. Instill in our children the values of solidarity, discipline, and patriotism. Because we know that if the children have received these modules, well, it will contribute to a change in mentality. We will instill in them what is necessary to have good behavior, to have a good knowledge of these modules so that we can obtain, in any case, a quality education. You know that the future depends on the children. We must teach them all these values from an early age so that the country there develops. This is what justifies today's official launch, which will involve nearly 58,582 students. Now, as you know, the KOB region is very large. The public and private institutions combined amount to nearly 1,200 institutions. We have therefore chosen institutions to conduct a pilot phase on WAGA 1, WAGA 2, WAGA 3, WAGA 4, and WAGA 5. So in each case, we selected 50 institutions based on criteria that were, of course, recommended by the TER with our colleagues. And I would like to sincerely congratulate our defense and security forces who, in addition to the battles they wage on the ground, are with us. Why? In any case, ensure these modules. I would also like parents to be able to truly support these initiatives because the main beneficiaries are the children. And everyone must play their part at their level so that these children truly become new graduates who respect their elders, who have values of solidarity, respect for the symbols of the state, and this is very important. It started immediately for 6 weeks, and at the end, of course, we did a review to plan ahead. We also need to plan ahead because there is the BPC, which is there. There is the baccalaureate at the end of exams, and these students will also be considered for the patriotic immersion, which is also mandatory for high school graduates and those who will take the BPC. All 1,200 schools in the Caribbean region are scheduled, and we will do it gradually. We are starting with 50 schools, as I mentioned earlier, for a pilot phase, and these schools were not chosen at random. Earlier, I spoke a little about the deviant behavior that we observe. There are criteria on which we base our selection of these institutions, and there is a lot of slightly deviant behavior, and we say that we are going to start there and extend it to the entire regional territory, of course, but I can assure you that no institution in the region will be left out. We will take this into account. It is true that the personnel of the Corps are there, but They are ready to accompany the concerts with the DR and his collaborators. We are going to provide this training throughout the regional territory because they are all from Burkina Faso, and it is quite normal that each student there should benefit. So our goal here is to truly be able to have the children of tomorrow and at Burkina level, so that these children have these values of solidarity, civic mindedness, and patriotism. It is very. Civic education is a subject that I was going to say is basic for the defense and security forces. We will simply share our experience by relying on what these young learners have already received from their supervisors and the various schools that the education system has been able to set up for them. So it is simply a continuation, renewal, and showing them through concrete examples what it is like and what should be at the end. As for the results, everyone will judge at home what kind of transformation there has been.
Sorry, I was muted. So that was in one of the school events where this program was launched. Now, this first of all, this program was launched by the government in 2025, including this one and also the Faso Mebo holiday camp, where the children go and stay there for a number of days, teaching them patriotism and practical skills as a mandatory and like a patriotic immersion. So, which is a program for high school graduates that was, and they teach them also military, this kind of things, combining it with civic values, with self-defense training to foster national unity, development. That is the goal of it. So while they are doing, this is very smart, because as much as now this government is embarking on this economic independence struggle, they are also, parallel to this, they are building a nation that will, that's capable to take over from them and continue this for generations. And I think this is smart, so that anytime if this government stops, that there are young people who can take over, who value these things. Now, the significance of it, the significance of it, from the point of view of Burkina Faso, you can also, take it as, for example, it's crucial for developing informed, engaged citizens with a strong national identity, values like responsibility, respect for law. And then there is, on the other hand, also you have community contribution. All this strengthen, whatever you want to call democracy and social cohesion, by connecting them to their national history, culture, and together a shared future. Okay, then they can become active participants and heroes and heroines of their country. Well, the key significance of this is, if you can, you can summarize it as national identity and belonging, a civic virtue and responsibility, informed and engaged citizens, moral development, future stewardship, positive values. Now, for Burkina Faso, the approaches used are experiential learning, meaning using digital tools, virtual city tours, and interactive contents to make learning engaging. Now, also through role models, meaning by highlighting historical figures or contemporary leaders as an example. active through also active participation that is involving students in projects where they can test and apply patriotic values. And I think it's regardless of the economy of any given country, poor or rich, it doesn't matter, but it's really important that a country raise the young people in such a way, meaning with through civic and patriotism. That is, I think, my take, and that's, I think, what Burkina Faso is trying to achieve. Now, moving on, there is also another update from the region, from Niger. Niger has there were, you remember that there was back, was it in November last year, there was a fuel kind of man-made fuel shortage or fuel crisis in Mali, where you see big lines of people and cars to get fuel from gas stations. And that was as the prime minister come out and exposed it. This is something sponsored thing to attack Mali, to make Mali failed state. Supporting also the terrorist groups have taken responsibility for that. They are taking the truck drivers and also working in collaboration with the fuel stations to say that there is no fuel, so that there is a crisis in the country. That was, but in such a way they tried to manage it. But guess what? Niger, which is another state, the member of the Alliance of the Sahel states, is supplying fuel to Mali. So how they are doing it is they send, of course, with these truck drivers to Mali, to their neighboring country. But some of those truck drivers were refusing to go. So what Niger did is that they have punished those truck drivers who refused to go to Mali. So Niger has how they are punishing them is by revoking their license of the truck driving license, by revoking it, and this is how Niger is stepping up to help the other member states of the Alliance of the Sahel states, Mali. And this is, I think, in a way, it's like also they are paying back how Burkina Faso and Mali were standing for Niger when the revolution happened in Niger in July 2023. ECOWAS sanctioned Niger, right? And at that time, it was this, all ECOWAS members have trade agreements, and on a daily basis, hundreds of trucks in and out in all countries. So Niger was part of that. And when the ECOWAS sanctioned Niger, basically the harm is on both sides. But it was Mali and Burkina Faso who have stepped up and started to supply whatever is needed, starting from the emergency one, from food, medicine, this kind of things they have supplied to Niger. Now Niger is, in a way, I think that's the way I see it, at least for me, paying back that. So by stepping up for Mali and sending this fuel to Mali, and even punishing those who have refused to travel to Mali. I think well done to Niger. Those are the couple of updates from the Alliance of the Sahel states. And yeah, let us know in the comment section, what do you think of Niger's action towards Mali, and also the civic and patriotism education? Do you think this will be this should be something other African countries have to adopt, let us know in the comment section. But that was it from me for now, and I will see you on the next one.